така му доаѓа, разбираш? Да, до крајвите, пошо.
Ќе мога да се вратам назад. Може ова да...
А кажи ми, тебе догачко ти ова да влезеш измеѓу или не?
Измеѓу, а по крупенка сега?
Да, ти сам покрупен, ќе влезеш надвор, ама од средина некако. А, да. Да, ќе се треса. Значи, основно
церемонијата за давање свечена закletва. Мерититата дитеве е да мир се ердет на церемонина е бетини солен. Во очекување сме на амбасадорот на САД, Джес Бейли, и да замолам кога ќе влиза сите да станем и да го поздравим. Јемине притје до амбасадорит Джес Бейли, ја љутам те дитеве, да бригеми прта пешаден. Ви благодарам много. Ќе ве замолам сега да станеме. Your Excellency, Ambassador Bailey, Your Excellency, Ambassador Sholendil, respected Deputy Minister Plenjov, respected Mr. Botsevsky, respected USA Mission Director Stein, representatives from the ministries, esteemed mayors, dear host families, dear guests. Good afternoon and welcome to the swearing-in of the new group of Peace Corps volunteers. At the very beginning of this ceremony, please allow me to introduce the 20th group of Peace Corps volunteers in the Republic of Macedonia. My name is Evelina Alibegovska and I am the trainee Peace Corps Macedonia. On behalf of Peace Corps and at this important event for the new volunteers in Macedonia. This ceremony is the crowning event of the volunteers' 3-month pre-service training and officially marks the beginning of their 2-year service in Macedonia. Special thank you goes to our friends and cooperators from the Macedonian Institute for Media for providing live streaming of our event today. The success of the Peace Corps program in Macedonia over the past nearly 20 years can be witnessed not only in the dedication and commitment of our volunteers of shared dreams and projects and countless new friendships. This year, Macedonia has welcomed the 20th group of Peace Corps volunteers. They have spent the Albanian language as well. Served in more than 30 communities throughout Macedonia. On behalf of Peace Corps and myself, I would like to express gratitude to everyone who has contributed in any way towards the success of this training. Volunteers into their homes with open hearts and allow them to become part of their families. Help them learn the language and the culture and gave them support when it was needed most. To recognize the families from the 5 Thank you for all you did for volunteers. Thank you goes also to the mayors, cooperation and generous support of our training in collaboration with the municipality, the schools, and the NGOs. Thank you all, and we hope for many future to work together. And last but not least, this training as trainers. As I was writing my speech, I came across a powerful quote from one of Peace Corps, President John F. Kennedy. On one occasion said, "The problem of the world cannot possibly be solved by," and asked, why not? Men and women who stand here today. I'm thankful for why not, and for their dedication and willingness to spend 2 years of their lives serving my country. I don't know if they will solve all the problems in the world. I'm sure that they will make a difference to the children in the schools, the people they will be working with, and those they will be living with as part of the family. It's doing the toughest job you'll ever love. I wish you a lot of new friendships and memorable moments second home forever. Given that tomorrow is the International Volunteer Day, I would like to who have served or are currently serving in Macedonia and other countries around the world. Time, energy, and skills to change the world. And now, as part of our tradition for this event, I would like to ask all of you to stand as a symbol of our friendship and cooperation. of the United States of America. Thank you. Now I would like to invite
Bailey, Ambassador of the United States, His Excellency Omar, Ambassador to Turkey, distinguished members of government, esteemed mayors, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the 20th group of Peace Corps. We are having our ceremony the day before Volunteerism Day. volunteers, those of us who have served, and my name is Kathleen Corey, and I this country. It will be my last. This reminds me very much with all the excitement that I had as a Peace Corps volunteer about that I swore in as a Peace Corps volunteer almost at this same time. It's a very special day for this group of Peace Corps trainees out to become Peace Corps volunteers and join the ranks of over 220,000 returned volunteers in the United States who have won. Their host families begin their new role as Peace Corps volunteers in English teaching and community development. Bring out the three goals of the Peace Corps because they are our core, they are our essence, and they are the things that President Kennedy wrote, whose function peace and to establish a meaningful relationship between the people of the United States and the countries in which we serve. Countries meet their need of what this goal means. He said, we will always have a real job to do and who are qualified of diplomacy or propaganda or ideological cause of world development and world peace. Peace Corps. They work for the ministries to not only will teach English at all from elementary school through adulthood in universities, but they will help the valuable English spelling, English essay contest, and many other important activities that our volunteers are involved in promoting the language. Volunteers working for the Ministry of Social Policy will contribute their expertise to working with children and adults with special needs, providing both direct support and training others on work with this very special population, among many that they will be assigned. Volunteers who are working with the Ministry of Local Self-Government will work in municipalities with youth councils, generating ideas for citizen participation. And these are a few to mention of the many valuable will be giving to not only their communities, but when I used to teach at the Foreign Service Institute in Washington, D.C., I heard more colleagues or her colleagues, if you don't have Peace Corps volunteers in your country, see if you're find because they live and work on a local that you are about to be introduced to. Macedonians will ever meet, will ever know. How a volunteer interacts with those he or she works with or lives with, and indeed possibly even the United States, is up to this task. Goal 3. Better understanding of other people on the part of volunteers coming to peace. The U.S. is better for it. When these volunteers who stand on foreign policy they agree with, America's relations with the rest of the world I'm able to say this, that he said that he would never take on any international issue whatsoever as part of the very powerful until he considered what the vote would do Republican. Volunteer. In the volunteer will be exposed to endless Macedonians who cared for them. And these volunteers will return to their sites, oftentimes, many times, to reconnect with those who made this 2-year experience so special. For many volunteers, as Evelina said, Macedonia will become their second country, for sure. And they will always care about what happens here. Before I close, I have several groups, as Evelina did, that I want to thank. First, I want to thank all of those who have been involved in the volunteer training. Evelina mentioned there was about 20 of you, and I'm going to ask now that you please stand up and allow us to give you a round of applause. This is a first-rate training group of people. And I must also, at this time, mention our larger Peace Corps staff. Hillary Clinton once said, "It takes a village to raise a child." It takes a village of competent and caring staff to support our volunteers. And I've had the good fortune of working, really seriously mean this, of working with the best group of staff I have ever worked with. And that is such a compliment to their competence, their caring, their love, their passion for the Peace Corps and its volunteers. And so I ask my staff to please stand up so we can applaud you too. And I will just say quickly, because Evelina did already, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to the host families, to the counterparts. Our volunteers are only as good as your relationship is with them. I mentioned to you at the counterpart conference, work your volunteers hard. There's nothing worse than a bored Peace Corps volunteer. And to the host families, love them with your heart. Make them part of your family. Your contribution to this program is immeasurable. And it means the world to us that you care so much about them. And last but not least, to these trainees on either side of me here, who in a minute will become Peace Corps volunteers, I want to say 2 things. Congratulations and thank you for your willingness to serve here. It takes a special person to want to join the Peace Corps. It takes commitment, humanitarianism, a spirit of adventure, and guts. Most volunteers join to contribute to world peace in whatever way they can, experience another culture, and most of all, help others. Peace Corps is not an easy assignment, as I think you all know already. It's not an easy assignment. It comes with many challenges. There will be days when you will be homesick and wonder, what was I thinking and how can I possibly contribute more? There will be days when 27 months seems like a really long time to be away from home. Yet you will overcome obstacles you never thought you could possibly overcome. And at the end of your service, you will wonder, like so many volunteers do, maybe I should stay one more year to accomplish just this one more thing I didn't get done. You will carry in your heart forever the Macedonians who made your 2 years the best experience of your life. And you will return to the United States saying, like many of us who have served before, that I got more than I gave. I wish you all the best. I couldn't be prouder of you or prouder of the Peace Corps or prouder to be your director. It's wonderful to have been a very small part at this point of, as Evelina said, the toughest job you'll ever love. I would now like to introduce each one of our volunteers by name and the home state that they come from. And Evelina will tell you where our trainees, soon-to-be volunteers, are going. Okay, now wait a second. Okay. As I read your name, guys, you'll stand up, and the group here will be able to see who you are. First one, Noemi Agajenia, and she hails from California. Our next trainee is Keisha Belknap, who comes from Utah. Scott Brantner comes from California. Kathleen Kors and Alan Kors come from Idaho. Miranda Cohen is from Washington, D.C. Bryce Davis is from Oklahoma. Laura Desher is from Washington, D.C. Bryson Eck is from Montana. Immaculée Fabre is from New York State. Cameron George is from Maryland. Megan Harney is from California. Jenica Hill is from Florida. Anna Kaiser is from New York State. Kathleen Kendrick is from Oregon. Jeffrey Levine is from Maryland. Christopher Loving is from Illinois. Melissa Marston is from Pennsylvania. Doug Matthias is from Florida. Emma McGively is from Indiana.
We'll be serving in James.
We're starting over here now, right? Yeah, over here. Charles McKinney is from Delaware.
We'll be serving in James.
Catherine McSherry comes from New York State. Stephanie Miliotto is from California. Kyle Morford is from Washington, D.C. Leah Murfield is from South Dakota. Priscilla Newton comes from South Carolina. Sabrina Noel is from New Jersey. Alexander Peckman is from Connecticut. Philip Pinchton is from Washington, D.C. Maria Casara is from California. Jonna Redmond is from Maryland. Kathleen Reeder is from Colorado. Sarah Riendos is from New York. Robert Shear is from Utah, will be serving in Tucson. Christine Shin is from California, serving in Tucson. Scott Slauson is from Montana, Utah. Amy Stewart, Florida, will be serving in Utah. Jennifer Stephan is from Maryland, serving in Tallahassee. Holly Schwab is from Ohio, will be serving in Spokane. Philip Taylor, Michigan, will be serving in Spokane. And Mallory Weiss is from Texas. And will be serving in Delaware. As you can see, we represent a lot of different people from the United States. We are from different ethnic groups, we are different ages, but what we all share in common is a desire to serve the people of Macedonia. So these are your trainees, soon to be volunteers. And before, I want to introduce Ambassador Bailey in just one second, but I also want to say this is the very first time we have streamed live a swearing-in ceremony. So to all the moms and dads and kids out there who are watching your parents and your children and your spouses, in some cases, swear in, we thank you for raising such amazing people and caring for such amazing people. And we thank you that we get to have them for the 2 years you don't. So anyway, welcome to everybody who's out there. All right. It's now my honor and pleasure always to introduce the Ambassador to the United States, the Honorable Jess Bailey. Ambassador Bailey has a very, very long and distinguished career with the Foreign Service. He's a very highly respected diplomat, but that's not what I want to comment on when I think of Ambassador Bailey. What I want to comment on is that whenever we ask him to speak for us, to do something for us, to host events that are organized by the Peace Corps volunteers, it is an immediate yes. That kind of support is very, it's not rare, but it's very special. I will always remember the glint in the children's eyes who won the National Spelling Bee and the National English Essay Contest as they received their award firsthand from our ambassador. And I will always remember the excitement of our young women future leaders in our Girls Leading Our World leadership camp, that the ambassador came and spent time with them and had lunch and talked to them individually. And I will remember the delight of future male leaders in our Young Men's Leadership Project camp last summer when the ambassador came and was interviewed by them. And they will never forget, kept talking about the fact that both ambassador and his lovely wife, Katie, drove over 5 hours simply to spend a couple of hours talking to them at their camp. It's very special to have an ambassador who cares about the Peace Corps as much as this one does. So please join me in welcoming to the podium Ambassador Jess Bailey.
Distinguished representatives of the government of Macedonia, mayors, colleagues from the embassy, Peace Corps staff, host families, friends, counterparts of Peace Corps. It's wonderful to see you all here today. And it's a privilege for me to speak. But I'm going to begin by going off script, if you'll allow. So don't run that too much. To say it's also, before I say anything else, the biggest thank you needs to go out to Corey, who is a fantastic Peace Corps director. She knows how to convince anybody to do anything, which is a little bit why I'm always ready to help out. But she is winding up a distinguished career with Peace Corps, a distinguished career in service to the United States government in so many ways. And I'd like to thank her very much for her service for all of these years. afternoon as we celebrate the start of these volunteer English teachers and community development workers and the start of their Peace Corps journey. They will join over 500 Peace Corps volunteers who've served in the Republic of Macedonia since the program began in 1996. And they are probably one of the strongest groups that show very visibly the ties between our two countries. I've been the ambassador here for slightly less than a year, but in that year I've seen firsthand the work of Peace Corps volunteers in Macedonia, and I am very proud of all they do. They are hardworking, they're caring, they're competent, and their impact is found in the confidence of those young men and women at Peace Corps leadership camps. Their impact is seen in the success of a small NGO establishing an organic farm in Gostivo. In the warm and funny stories I heard from some host families in Veles, and from the love of some children with special needs for their Peace Corps teacher, who taught them how to sing Makedonska Devojče, and they won an international recognition in a worldwide Peace Corps competition. And lest you have any question about the impact of a Peace Corps volunteer, it lasts far beyond their time in the country they serve. Today, among us, we have His Excellency and my friend, Ömer Soylu, who is of Turkey and Macedonia, and a great of this country as well as the United States. And in meeting him the first time, he sat in a classroom in Izmir, Turkey, where his teacher was a young Peace Corps volunteer. And when I mentioned this ceremony today, he asked if he could join as a gesture of gratitude to those volunteers many, many years ago. So, if I ask to cede the floor, if I may, to Ambassador Soylu, who'd like.
And good friend. Thank you very much. And dear Peace Corps, after 40 years of service, I thought I was never going to get excited. But I was wrong.
Poštovani gosti, početni ambasadore, скорі очікувані волонтери. После 40 години служба има има никой интересен настан, но сгреши. Ambasador ambasador što da te veruar minha carrière por aí dos advita kam da je medoja sasni hernuk do isha achum zituar je tatil je pogabova është kjo
Excited when you just mentioned this event. More excited right now.
Uzbudan koga mi go spomenao nastan.
I feel like 11 years old again. Yes, I started obviously years of my life, which I the most beautiful.
средно образование, го започнав во 1960. Требаше 7 години да поминам низ одлична искуства.
Школа небеска и филова на име на
number of Peace Corps teachers, and they shaped, they contributed a lot in shaping my future vocation, moral values, my way of thinking.
Имав неколку во период мировен корпус кој што ми беа наставници и на некој начин го оформија моето образование.
Tako je na tarta korpusita plaćas, da cilja kandikuar na
Holderman is also Belgium, is Angola. You name it. I mean, I had many between 64.
Значи во тој период од 7 години меѓу 54-та и 71-та имав многу такви професии. Наборам некои други член се соединија през нив.
Такива штат битаве ние на така ордиса на тартици да им брои тоа што е цилјат инде и портутон
I hope they are all.
Се надевам се здрави, живи и моја почит ја испраќам по.
Ede i da goje përshëndetje të mia Amerika.
And I wish to extend my best wishes and congratulations to these young people who will serve in this beautiful country. I'm sure they will do a lot, a great job. And I wish to thank you for inviting me here.
Успех кон овие млади луѓе. Прекрасна земја, уште еднаш благодарност до амбасадорот на сопруга и господин Кори за поканата. Никогаш не да го заборавам. Благодарам.
Ju faleminderit edhe një herë për të pjesën. Gjithashtu do doja ta përdori këtë uroj gjithë vullnetarëve sukses në këtë qytet të bukur, gjithashtu dhe falenderoj
Americans have a deep, abiding faith. Macedonia came with that attitude. The communities in which they will find them to be optimistic and always on the lookout for new ways of doing things. A different method of teaching English. Believing in the possibility and seeing alternative solutions to problems is one of the unique contributions of Peace Corps. And while volunteers bring with them skills in education and community development, is a desire to build understanding between the United States and the people based on ignorance. We often dislike or fear what we do not know. And once we get to know one another, we realize that despite cultural differences and different backgrounds, we share many of the same things. And And I believe that programs like Peace Corps, programs that increase understanding of peoples and nations, offer real solving the problems of our increasingly interconnected world. The people in Macedonia, the host families, the municipal officials, the school teachers and officials, for having warmly welcomed these volunteers and for all you will do for them over the next several years. Blagodaran, for opening your homes and sharing your lives. And I would especially like to thank all the members of the you represent, the country has to offer, what many will consider the two most important years of your life. You will have obstacles, frustrations, but you will learn and you will contribute more than you can imagine. 54 years ago. And many of them have gone on to do extraordinary. Bellamy, who was a congresswoman and the former director of UNICEF. President of the University of Wisconsin. And I cannot tell you how many ambassadors and diplomats in the United States Foreign Service. And of course, who can forget Miss Lillian Carter, the mother of Jimmy Carter, then president, who got her start at the young age of 70 and contributed to the well-being of Indian street children. As the late Albert Schweitzer once said, the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who will have sought and found how to serve. He was right. We are very proud of your projects. And again, thank you for your service. Now we come to, I guess, the height of the ceremony here. It's something about 1 year ago today that I did to begin my time in Macedonia as ambassador. And for those of you who have never been at one of the ceremonies, the oath of office has a special in history. When our republic was founded more than 200 to emperors, to sultans, to feudal lords. But in one of its, the United States Congress decreed government officials would swear an oath to the Constitution, to the very ideas of our democracy. Serves as a reminder of this. All the volunteers to rise, please, and raise their right hands. I state your name. Swear or affirm. Solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and that I take this obligation freely and faithfully discharge my duties in the peace corps. Congratulations. and I look forward to seeing you around Macedonia.
Thank you, Ambassador Bailey. Not able to attend this event. I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Ivica Bucerski, Special Advisor.
Madam Ambassador, Your Excellency, Ambassador Short, Director Corey, distinguished volunteers, and also on behalf of the people of Macedonia, and all the service we provide to our citizens. Висока почит за мисијата на сите генерации волонтери жалам што поради претходно преземени обврски не можеме со вас и лично да и посакам успех на новата група волонтери на Мировниот корпус, која меѓу американските граѓани и нивните македонски домаќини. Мировниот корпус дополнува една важна димензија во стратегиско светски американски држави Македонија, а тоа е потребата од жива врска помеѓу нашите две за заслуги за Македонија. Тоа беше израз на нашата благодарност и за исклучителната улога на американските
For this lovely letter of support to our volunteers. Now comes perhaps the best part of this ceremony. Sorry to the rest of the speakers. When two representatives of the new group of 41 volunteers, Laura Desher and Maria Psara, will say a few words in Macedonian and Albanian about their experiences in the past 3 months, and will also read the Peace Corps Volunteer Pledge to Macedonia.
Времето поминато со вас е спомен кој длабоко ценime и со сигурност можете да сметате дека наскоро пак ќе ви дојдеме на гости за да јадеме ајвар и да гледаме кои сме серија
Me këtë rast I falenderojmë familjet tona Nikoqire, të cilët e hapin shtëpit dhe zemrat e tyre.
Можеме многу да научиме едни од други.
Беше силната и искрена поддршка од вработените во Мировниот корпус. Тоа се нашите инструктори по јазик, кои некако успеа за само 10 недели да не научат да зборуваме на македонски.
Ne nuk do të ishin këtu pa përkrajhen e stafit të korpusit të paqes, instruktorët e gjuhës të cilit ja arriten të na mundesojnë të flasim pas 10 javësh, edhe pse nuk dinim asnjë fjalë në fillim.
Техничките и инструкторите по култура кои ни помогна да ја разбереме нашата улога како волонтери и американци што ќе живеат во Македонија.
Trenerët teknikët e kulturës të cilët na ndihmuan ta kuptojmë rolin ton si vullnetar dhe si t'i përshtatemi kulturës së re.
Program menеджерите и координаторите за семејства кои вложија морен труд и време за да ни обезбедат одлични домови како и одлични работни места.
Menaxherët e programit dhe koordinatorit e shtëpive Nikoqire, të cilët japin të mundshme në punën që do ta duan me gjithë zemër.
Надяваме, што ја споделивте со нас вашата љубов за мисијата на мировниот корпус. Тоа ќе ни биде голема инспирација за така работа.
Rectorеше son Kathleen Ford. Parlamentari ce îndage mene pasioni per misioni ne corpusite paces, sepse cata dote chemis inspirin jacit șervinit.
Како два сета група на волонтери на Мировиот корпус во Македонија, се нетрпение очекуваме да продолжиме да го развиваме пријателството помеѓу Америка и Македонија, воспоставено од групите пред нас. Неизмерно сме среќни повеќе за ова извонредна земја и со нетрпение очекуваме да почнеме да работиме
Miezeti corpusite paces de Macedonii, de padurin crezi, de la noi, raniuș nevitit neviil.
и покануваме волонтерите од нашата група да го
Timin, ton per Macedonii.
volunteers
With an open heart and open mind.
with creativity
With patience, humility,